Welcome back to another episode of Coffee House with Bernice. And as you all may have already heard, there has been a general trend of Gen Z teens and adults returning back to Christianity and reviving our churches. And with us today on the show, we actually have one of those teens. We have Adele here with us. And she actually lives out her life in a very extraordinary way of not just being your typical teen, but being involved in living out her faith. Welcome to the show today, Adele.
Hi, Bernice. Thank you.
I was just saying, we're here bright and early today. How do you have enough time to sleep with all the things you're involved in?
So, as all teens, I really love sleeping. And I think that sleep is one of the most important things, as you know, because God intends for us to rest as well, but also that it can refresh our minds and bodies for the upcoming days.
Well, a very wise priest once told me at a retreat that your decisions the night before quite affect the day after. So hearing that you make sure there's enough sleep in your day, you get to start the day bright and early and with the enough energy to go at it, right?
Yeah, but on the weekdays, that's another story.
And with that, of course, you're going to school, you're attending all these different things. Like, I heard you're an altar server at church as well. Would you like to tell us about that ministry?
Yeah, so I'm an altar server at church, and I serve for the English Mass at my parish. And it's a good chance to serve your community, as well as also being so close to what is going on and what is truly happening on the altar. And I think it's an amazing way to also connect with other people and just to be closer, not just physically, but also become closer spiritually to the Lord.
Yeah, and it's definitely now that you're so involved at altar serving, do you feel that now understanding the liturgy better has helped enrich your faith?
Definitely, yeah, because I used to be just in the pews, just listening and just kind of falling asleep, but now it's like you're so much more involved and you know what's going on at every step, at every stage of the Mass, and it's for every altar server, you learn these things and it just naturally shapes the way you think and how you act at the Mass.
That's very lovely. And now I know maybe you can't bilocate, but I heard you're also part of the church choir. How do you manage that?
So some weeks I'm scheduled to altar serve, but then the other weeks where I'm free, I like to sing in the choir. Sometimes I'm transitioning to playing the piano or the organ. But yeah, I think singing is one of my favorite hobbies, and I just love to share that with the people around me and serve in that way as well.
Do you find now that you've been a part of the church choir that you're able to bring those skills back home and do some praise and worship sessions for yourself or with your family?
My family, yeah, we really like to listen to that stuff, and sometimes when my parents are cooking, I can hear the praise and worship music playing. And yeah, I sometimes like to play the guitar just for fun, and sometimes I'll play to my siblings, but usually they're not that interested in listening to what I have to sing.
That's okay. You're the oldest child of the family, right?
Yes.
And I know when I pick on my older sister, we would always be like, I don't want to hear her sing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have a lovely voice. And with that lovely voice, you're also a part of so many different things. I heard you're partaking in LifeTeen at your church, as well as being one of the leaders for EDGE, which, for context of those that aren't in the Greater Toronto region, our EDGE and LifeTeen is our youth ministries for the elementary grades and the high school ages as well. So Adele being a teen, she's part of LifeTeen, but as a teen, she can be a leader for the EDGE ministry, which is for, what are the ages that your church normally serves?
We are serving kids from grade 6 to grade 8, so it's just on the cusp of transitioning into high school.
Okay. And I think that's also the cusp of when they start going to confirmation class as well, right?
Yeah, so we have a lot of kids actually coming from confirmation class because they've had a good time at confirmation and they want to experience more. So a lot of our EDGE kids are in grade 7.
Okay. And with that, like, what are some of the responsibilities that you have in this ministry?
In Edge, we have a great team and a great crew already at our parish. So we take turns planning, and we take turns giving talks to the Edgers, or we take a lot of responsibility for making sure the night runs smoothly. And our lovely youth minister, she helps oversee all of us and make sure that we're all staying on task, we're not getting distracted. And we just make sure these kids have a good experience, and then they can leave with a good feeling about who they are and their faith.
Have you found that helping with these teens that are younger than you have helped enrich your faith life as well?
For sure, because it's honestly very inspiring to see these kids, because some of them, they're so young, but they're so into their faith, and it's inspiring because when I was their age, it wasn't exactly the same as that, but it's also amazing to see the impact that we've had on their lives. Like, I can see from when someone was grade 6, they're an entirely different person from when they're in grade 8, and they're still in the same program, which means that we have impacted these kids, and in turn it's kind of just inspired me as well to also be transformed in serving.
It must be so rewarding to see that growth in your edgers, right? Edgers is what we call them now.
Yeah.
And with that, I can only imagine how, when you're in LifeTeen, how much you can grow in that ministry as well, and how fruitful it must be for your youth minister to see you grow.
Yeah.
And would you like to touch upon that, especially since you're more of a participant there?
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to get more information about your faith, and to also have fellowship with fellow brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yeah, so LifeTeen is a great program for all teenagers in high school, and it really dives deep into the topics of our faith rather than just skimming the surface like how they teach you in religion class, but they really try to enrich your faith life and your spiritual life by giving you practical tips you can do throughout your day. And they also teach you a lot about scripture, a lot about the catechism, and just how we can apply it to how we live in the world. And it's also a great place to make new friends who are like-minded individuals like you, who also are aiming to become closer to the Lord as well.
What are some of your favorite memories from LifeTeen, or maybe even like a favorite lesson that you've learned?
My favorite memories are definitely when we go into these small group discussions, because it's really where you get to know your small group members. So a small group is where you have a group of people located to you for the entire year, and you just talk to them about anything that's on your mind about the faith or about school or anything, and you just become like a small family. And I think that's one of my favorite memories, because I've made so many friends through that, and so many impactful discussions have shaped the way I think and the way I act.
That's lovely to hear. And with so many lovely experiences from LifeTeen, I was also wondering, how has this ministry helped impact you in growing closer to God and understanding His love, and also practically living out your faith at home better?
So before LifeTeen, I had a very unstructured prayer life, and also I didn't feel as much as a personal relationship with God. So I was just doing anything that comes to mind, and then I would do it all in one spot, not structured throughout my day. But then after LifeTeen, it taught me how to personally connect to God on that level, which was through spending time with Him, maybe in adoration, or praying with more intention. You don't have to pray for a long period of time, but rather short periods of time, but with great focus and great intention to be communicating with God. And also more structured, so in the morning and in the evening. And then all those skills has helped me also center my life around God, and it has reminded me of His love, and how at every moment you can always be like be united to him in prayer, even though if you're working. Like LifeTeen has taught me that even if you're working, you can offer up that hour to him or something like that. Yeah.
That is so beautiful to hear how God has almost like he has become like a center of your life now through LifeTeen, through teaching you all these practices of like praying properly and remembering to bring him into your day. And with this evolution of your prayer, have you found stuff like you used to maybe only say like a Hail Mary, but now it's like you're actually having conversation with God?
For sure, yeah. Because like I used to just be very like random with my prayer. Like one day I would do this and then the other day I would do something else. But now it's more like I have a schedule which I follow and I can, and sometimes, yeah, like it's always just talking to God in a more familiar way than before I would just be like, I would just like be reciting the prayers that I've always knew, you know?
Yeah. Now you're really getting into that personal relationship with God, which is really beautiful. And to be able to like now kind of more walking side by side with him in your life, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? You have like so much life ahead of you too. So I really hope and pray for you that you're going to continue to grow in this faith and with this community that you have founded, as well as like all this ministry work that you're doing, to keep up in good work and to continue following Jesus. And with that, I was wondering, do you have anything else you want to say or maybe recommend LifeTeen to others? What would you tell them?
Yes, for any teen who is looking for a community or just looking to learn more about your faith, I would 100% recommend LifeTeen to you because honestly, it is one of the most life-changing decisions that I have made to join LifeTeen, and yes, I recommend it to you.
And with that, thank you so much for coming on our show today, Adele. And for all of you lovely listeners at home, you can see how much getting involved in your faith and learning about your faith has transformed this teen's life, and how it can transform yours as well, whether it be joining that choir or serving in your local ministries at your church or your parish or your community. And with that, you can also support this ministry by dropping us a like and subscribing to our channel or giving us 5 stars wherever you're listening to us. And with that, we hope you have a blessed day.